After being married for over 26 years, I thought living alone at 59 would be lonely, but it's actually been the most peaceful and amazing season of my life. I'm the happiest I've ever been. Hi, I'm Lynn, and I'm becoming Lynn. Maybe some of you are in this season right now. I spent most of my life as a wife and mother of 2 daughters, and then it was over. This was scary and quite a shock. My marriage at the end was not great. We were separated at the time, and all of a sudden, he passed away. This was during COVID, and he was only 58 years old. Right after that, my mom died of cancer, and a little more than a year after that, my father died. I then began to really think my life is gonna be lonely. Even though my marriage at the end was a little rocky, he was still part of our lives. I was truly blessed to have an amazing full-time career in the medical field. I was able to take care of myself financially. My daughters were grown adults. So that part of this transition, I feel, was a little bit easier compared to others. But as time went by, I think I learned to adapt. I learned to listen to myself. The quiet actually helped. And most importantly, I trusted God had a plan for me. He always does. Looking back at this time, I honestly never thought of remarrying or finding another partner, especially during those first few years of being alone. Later on, I started hearing what others assumed. It started with my daughters asking me, "When are you going to start dating again, mom? Aren't you lonely? Don't you want to find a nice man to take care of you?" And then, "Hey, let's set up your dating app. I'll be perfect for you. You're going to find a really nice man." I didn't know anything about dating apps. I know there's a lot out there. Christian Mingle, Hinge, Bumble, Tinder. I'm sure the list goes on and on and on. And then the coworkers started. "Hey, Lynn, I saw a really cute doctor in the ER. I didn't see a ring on his finger. Hey, I think he's single. Why don't you just go over there and talk to him? Go out on a date. You don't want to grow old and alone and, things like that." It did actually happen though a couple months ago. I think I gave in. I did meet a man at work. This man I met at work, I gave him my phone number. This was my very first date in a very, very long time. So let's just say this date had a lot of red flags that I did not ignore this time. By the way, my last video is about those red flags that I did ignore the first time. That video is called Two Women Warned Me Not to Marry Him. I Didn't Listen. So if you want to watch it, I'll link that down in the description for you. This is where my grandma's advice really got me thinking. Something she said to me before I got married, I'll never forget. Anyway, she was widowed very early in her marriage and had two sons to raise all by herself. She never remarried. And I think she was pretty darn content. And she was a really important role model to me growing up and a really, really strong woman. I always had this in the back of my mind for many decades. Okay, here's what grandma told me. For your first marriage, it's okay. Marry for love. But your second marriage, if there is one, marry for money. You don't even have to marry him, she would say. But money is so important, especially later in life. Financial freedom, especially when you're getting closer to retirement. That is the key. She absolutely, at the time, sounded batshit crazy to me. But I think what she really meant was that you don't have to follow the same path twice. And I think I've come to understand this as well. She definitely was concerned with my financial health. You know, she was raised in the Depression. She knew how important it was to have money, to save your money. Not only that, but that you can just enjoy your life. Here's what living alone feels like for me. Living alone, I don't know, it has a certain peace about it. You only have to think about you. What to cook for dinner tonight or not. Should I clean my house or not? Should I let someone know where I'm going tonight or not? I know, I know it sounds a little selfish, but it's true. Another thing my grandmother would say to me, she she had great reasons for staying single and never remarrying. She would say to me, here's what she would say. Why would I want to take care of a sick husband, especially when they get old? Why do I want to cook dinner every night for someone? Why do I have to make the bed every night? She always had great comebacks for all of those questions I would ask her. Why did you never get married? And those were some of the things that she would say to me. And again, I did think she kinda sounded like a spoiled brat, and what I'm discovering now is she had her views on life and living alone. She was happy, and that happiness brought her peace. Also, there is quiet. What I'm finding is a kind of quiet I have never experienced before. When it's quiet in my house, I can actually hear my I can actually hear myself think. I know that sounds weird. I can I can feel this sense of clarity. I know what it is I want. I know what it is I need, and I know what it is I can do. It's really freeing. It's also where you have space to think. I've never felt this before until now. It's also a chance to really get to know yourself, your likes, your dislikes. I don't ever think I really knew myself until now. All of this quiet has taught me something I never understood until now. Sometimes it's about finally feeling at peace with a life you already have. I never thought I would say this, but here's what I've learned about living alone. I'm learning that happiness doesn't always require a partner. You don't need a relationship to feel fulfilled, although some of you may need that, and that's okay. Fulfillment can come from within yourself. Although I do have to say this, if it's in God's plan for me to remarry, I'm okay with that. Maybe some of you are in this same season, and I would love to hear how you're doing. So, in conclusion, what I finally come to understand is this: happiness doesn't always come from finding someone else. Sometimes it comes from finally coming home to yourself. And at 59, I'm still becoming.